The worst car crash deaths ever. Oh, this one's celebrities. Ooh, okay.
On November 30th,
Well, first one we got
2013,
Paul
fans around
Walker.
the world were
Ooh,
shocked by the sudden death of Paul Walker, the
this
40-year-old
one
actor best
stings,
known for
bro.
his role in the Fast and Furious
Yeah.
films. Walker had built his career playing a man who lived for speed, someone who always came out of a crash untouched.
It's kind of ironic though that he died from a car crash. Like, it's kind of ironic because, like, I don't know. I don't remember how it went though. I think it was him and someone else driving, and like their brakes weren't working or something like that.
That afternoon, Walker attended a charity event in Santa Clarita, California. He stepped
Ooh.
into a red Porsche Carrera GT, driven by his friend Roger Rodas.
Yeah,
The Carrera GT was
damn,
a
bro.
rare car, only about 1,200 were ever built, and it had a reputation for being
1200.
extremely difficult to control. It demanded perfection from its driver. Any mistake at high speed could mean disaster.
Ooh,
Around 3:30 p.m.,
that
Walker
doesn't
had
sound like a good
accelerated down a
idea.
quiet street. Witnesses later said the car was traveling over 90 miles per hour. Just seconds later, it lost.
Why? If you know the car's hard to control, why are you going 90 miles per hour? Why? And you're not even on like a highway or anything. You're on like just a street. Like, what are you doing? Why would you?
Lost control, struck a curb,
Oh,
then a tree, and finally a lamppost. The impact ripped the
damn.
car apart and immediately sparked a fire. At
Oh,
first,
it
many
went on
assumed Walker
fire.
died instantly on impact, but the coroner's report told a more disturbing truth. The collision broke bones and caused trauma, but it wasn't fatal.
Oh,
Paul Walker was
so
alive
he
when
was
the
just sitting
collision
there in
ended. He was
pain.
strapped into the passenger seat, conscious but trapped, as flames spread rapidly through the wreck. The autopsy showed he suffered burns to his body and smoke particles were found in his airway, clear signs that he was still breathing when the fire started. The heat became unbearable within moments. The smoke filled the
Oh,
cabin, making
he was in
every breath
torture, bro.
agonizing.
Damn.
He fought for air as the flames closed in, but there was no escape. The seatbelt that had saved him from being thrown out now became the reason he couldn't get free. It took only a minute for the Porsche to become an inferno. When first responders arrived, the fire was too strong to approach. Witnesses could only watch helplessly as he was trapped inside the burning car. Paul Walker died
Can't
from a
do anything,
combination of
bro.
traumatic
Damn.
injuries and burns. The news spread instantly across the world. Fans mourned not just the loss of a movie star, but the cruel irony of how he died.
Bro, so he was like forced to just sit there and like take it, bro. He couldn't even get out with his seatbelt, man. That sucks, bro. All because his friend was driving 90 miles per hour. Like, why, bro? Like, I don't get it.
Paul
That's
Walker spent his
so
career portraying
fast.
invincibility on screen, but his real death was slow and impossible to escape. Ryan Dunn. On June 20th,
Who's
2011,
Ryan
the
Dunn?
quiet roads of West
Am I
Hartford
uneducated,
Township,
bro? Who is
Pennsylvania,
Ryan Dunn? Am
became
I
the
supposed to
scene
know
of one of
that?
the most shocking car
Whoa.
crashes of the decade. Behind the
Is that
wheel was
that's where he
Ryan Dunn,
died?
a 34-year-old stunt performer
Nah,
best
I
known
don't
for his
recognize that
appearances
guy.
on the
He's a
television show
stunt performer.
Jackass. Dunn had built a reputation as someone
Oh, Jack. He's from Jackass. Oh. I wouldn't recognize him then, yeah.
who constantly pushed the limits of safety, often risking his body for stunts that blended comedy with real danger. But this time, it was no act. At around 3:30 a.m., Dunn was driving his Porsche 911 GT3.
Well,
Investigators
Porsche
later confirmed he was
911, yeah.
moving at an extreme speed, estimated at over 130 miles per hour. His passenger was Zach.
Dog. Dog. You know how fast that, oh my. Oh, dog, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why?
Zachary Hartwell, a 30-year-old friend and former Navy veteran. On a stretch of Route 322, Dunn lost control. The car left the road,
Dude, do you know how
crashed through a
fast he was going,
guardrail,
bro?
and slammed head-on into a tree. The impact was so violent that it
Bro,
tore the
the
car
impact from
apart.
going that
Within
fast would just
seconds, the
rip him
wreckage
apart.
burst into flames. The
Yeah,
autopsy
like,
report
bro.
later revealed that neither man died immediately on impact. Both sustained major blunt force trauma, but there
Ooh,
were
it's the
also
same as the
signs
last
of
one.
thermal injuries. That meant they were alive, if only for
So
moments,
they're alive,
as
just
fire
sitting there
engulfed the rest of the
burning,
Porsche.
bro. Oh my
Witnesses who
god.
arrived at the scene
That
saw a
sucks, I can't
fireball
lie.
so intense that it was impossible to get close. First responders were met with a vehicle already consumed by flames, making any rescue attempt impossible. He died not instantly, but in the chaos of fire and impact, with no escape. His passenger shared the same fate. News of the accident spread instantly across the world.
Car look
Princess
like?
Diana. On
Bro.
August 31st, 1997,
Princess.
Princess Diana left the Ritz Hotel.
Yeah, how did she die? I low-key don't know. I feel like I'm supposed to know this, but I don't know how she died. I didn't know much about her. Let's see.
Paris with her partner Dodi Al Fayed. It was just after midnight when they got into a black Mercedes-Benz S280 driven by Henry Paul. Paparazzi followed them closely on motorcycles and in cars as they pulled
Bro.
away. Moments later, as the car entered the Pont de l'Alma tunnel at high speed, it lost control and slammed into a concrete pillar. The crash was
Damn.
violent. Dodi Al Fayed and Henry Paul were killed instantly. Diana survived the impact. When first responders arrived, they found her still alive in the back seat. She was conscious, her
Oh,
head
she was still
resting against the
alive.
seat in front of her. According to fireman Xavier Gourmelon, who was among the first on the scene, she looked at him and asked, "Oh my God, what has happened?" Her injuries were catastrophic, but not immediately fatal. The crash had torn
Ooh.
her pulmonary vein near the heart, causing massive internal bleeding. From the outside, she appeared
Damn.
shaken but not beyond help. Inside, her body was shutting down. Rescuers worked frantically to
Oh, so
stabilize
she
her.
had like
She was placed on a
she was bleeding like a lot because her thing ripped. Damn, bro. Because that's like, if you look at her, she'll probably just look fine. Well, not fine, but like, not like she's gonna die from the outside. But like, sometimes some things like are happening inside that you just can't see. Damn, bro. The internal bleeding and everything.
stretcher and taken out of the tunnel, still breathing, still aware. In the ambulance, medics tried to control the bleeding and keep her heart beating. For nearly an hour, she fought, slipping in and out of consciousness, her body failing from the hidden damage. At 4 a.m., in the Pitié-Salpêtrière hospital, Princess Diana went into cardiac arrest. Doctors opened her chest to try to repair the torn vein, but the injury was too severe. Despite
Yeah.
desperate attempts, they could not save her. She was declared dead at 4:53 a.m. News of Diana's death spread around the world within hours. Millions refused to believe it at first, hoping the reports were
Yeah.
real.
Wait,
In the
how old was she when she died? How old was she when she
days
died,
that
actually?
followed, tens of thousands of people brought flowers and letters to Kensington Palace. Her funeral on September 6th was watched by an estimated 2.5 billion people worldwide.
2.5 billion? Damn, bro. It's a lot.
One of the largest television audiences in history. For many, it was not just the loss of a princess, but the loss of someone they saw as a symbol of compassion and humanity.
I mean, yeah,
Dale Earnhardt Sr. On February
I don't know who
18th,
this is.
2001, the Daytona 500 was coming to its final lap. The race was the biggest event in NASCAR, and the
It's
man
gotta
in the
be
black number
dangerous.
3
Yo,
Chevrolet.
you see the slope that they drive on? Like that, it's actually insane. I don't actually, it's like, it's not like flat, it's like up like this. Yeah, that's like crazy to me. I don't know how they feel safe on that. I don't know.
Was its most famous driver. Dale Earnhardt Sr. was a legend of the sport, known as the Intimidator for his
The
aggressive
Intimidator.
style. Fans
That's a
expected him to
tough
finish
name right
strong,
there. The
as he had so many
Intimidator.
times before. But as the pack of cars rushed toward the final turn, disaster struck. Earnhardt's Chevrolet made contact with another car, lost control, and slammed head-on into the concrete wall at nearly 155 miles per hour. The impact was
Hmm.
sudden and violent. At first, it did not look like a fatal crash. The car wasn't torn apart, and there
Oh,
was no
okay.
fire. From the
I
stands,
mean,
many thought Earnhardt would climb out as he had so many times before. But inside the cockpit, the situation was very different. The collision
what
caused
happened
what
to him?
doctors later called a basal skull fracture, a break at the base of the
Oh,
skull where it connects to the spine. It is one of the most catastrophic injuries in racing. Medical experts explained that the injury is not always instantly fatal. For a few seconds, the driver can remain conscious, feeling intense pain, confusion, and a sudden struggle to breathe before the body shuts down. That is what happened to Earnhardt. Rescuers reached his car within moments,
damn,
but he was
bro.
unresponsive.
Damn. So nobody could actually tell before they came, like they went into the car. Oof.
He was rushed to Halifax Medical Center, where doctors tried to revive him. At 5:16
Halifax.
p.m., Dale Earnhardt Sr. was pronounced dead. Millions of fans were left in disbelief, unable to accept that a driver who had seemed untouchable on the track was gone. His crash led directly to sweeping safety changes in NASCAR, including the mandatory use of the Hans device to prevent head and neck injuries,
Yeah.
redesigned car
So
structures,
that's a good
and
rule.
safer walls at tracks.
Nice, bro.
In the early
Cut in
1980s, the police in
half?
Germany were called to one of the
Don't
most
even tell me the person cut in half? Look at this. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna lie. If this car was like, not so long and this section was like in the middle, this would be the second rip apart. That's, oh, oh.
most disturbing car accidents ever recorded on the country's highways. The crash involved a Porsche
Yeah,
928,
if this
a
part
sports
wasn't like
car
that
capable
long and this was the
of making more than
midsection, yeah,
160 miles per hour.
bang,
It was a
he's
car built for
cooked.
speed, but also one that left little margin for error. On that night, the driver was traveling at extreme speed on the Autobahn. Witnesses later said the Porsche was moving so fast that other vehicles looked almost stationary. In a split
Why are they
second,
always going so
control was
fast?
lost. The car swerved,
Like if I had a
hit the
car like
guardrail,
this, I
and
would not
slowed with
be
such
like
exhaustive
driving
force that
at
the
like
vehicle was torn
200
apart.
kilometers
The
per hour.
Porsche's
Like
strong frame
I
was
don't know
built to
about that, bro.
protect against impacts, but at such high speed, the human body inside stood no chance. The force of the crash literally cut the driver in half. His upper
Oh my
body remained
god.
strapped
Oh.
to the driver's seat, while his lower body was thrown.
Ew, 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 ew. Where he was split in half? I thought that meant just the car, bro. Oh my, ew, ew. So like you could like see his legs on like the highway. Ew, ew.
Several meters away from the wreck. When first responders arrived, they were confronted with a scene so gruesome that many described it as one of the worst they had ever witnessed. The
That's
car
actually
itself was
gross.
shredded, scattered across the
Oh my
road,
god.
and what was left of the
That,
driver was in
ew.
two separate places. The accident quickly became infamous among German police and highway authorities, not only because of its brutality, but also as a stark warning of what happens when human flesh meets physics at extreme speed. The driver had
Yeah.
not been burned, nor crushed slowly. His death was
Just
instant, but it was also
instant.
violent in
Split
a
in
way that
half. Yep.
shocked even seasoned
Mm.
investigators. Roger
Bro.
Williamson. On
Clean down the
July
middle.
29, 1973, the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort was underway. The race drew thousands of fans who watched from the
Yo,
stands
they
and the
go
grass bleachers
fast on
behind the
them
stadium.
tracks, bro.
Among the
Yeah.
drivers was Roger Williamson,
Like imagine
a
someone just
25-year-old
grabs you by
Spaniard
accident and you
only
just
just
die.
started his
That's like,
Formula One career. He was considered a rising talent, young and ambitious, eager to
bro, Formula One drivers gotta be like the bravest people, bro. Cause tell me how you're going that fast and you're trusting that people won't ram into you by accident. Like, if someone beside you has like a mishap or their car malfunctions that hits you, you're cooked. You're just cooked. It's like, bro.
prove himself at the highest level of racing. On the eighth lap of the race, something went wrong. Williamson's car suffered a tire failure at high speed.
Yeah.
The car veered off course, hit the
Like,
barriers,
imagine
and
he
flipped
hit
over.
another
When it came to
car,
rest, it
though.
was upside down. Almost
You see what I
immediately,
mean?
fuel leaked out and caught fire. Williamson was
Oh my
alive inside
god.
the cockpit. He had not been killed by the impact. Trapped
Oh,
upside
he was
down, strapped
alive.
in, he could not move. The smoke and fire began to surround him. His fellow driver, David Purley, stopped his own car and ran across the track to help. Purley tried to
I mean,
push the
yeah.
car upright with his bare hands, but it weighed far too much. Flames
Yeah.
spread quickly.
Damn, bro.
Purley shouted for help, but
What would you do for stopping and helping, bro? Like, I guarantee some of the other racers, they just kept going, trying to win, bro. Guaranteed some of them did do that.
track marshals hesitated. They had no protective clothing, no fireproof gear, and for crucial minutes,
That's
they
kind
could
of
not
a
come
little
close
bit
to the
valid,
burning
though.
car. Williamson's screams could be heard from inside. He was still conscious, fighting to escape as the fire grew hotter and thicker smoke poured from the car.
Or
The
they could have
crowd
probably
could only
saved
watch in
him. If they had
silence.
like
Purley
fireproof stuff, they
tried
could have probably
desperately,
saved him. I
grabbing
can't
a
lie.
fire extinguisher and spraying into the flames, but it was nowhere near enough to put out the blaze. With every passing second, Williamson's situation worsened. The heat, the smoke, and the lack of air inside the overturned car made survival impossible. After several minutes, the fire consumed the cockpit. The screams stopped. By the time rescue vehicles finally arrived, Roger Williamson was gone. The entire scene was broadcast live on television. Millions of viewers saw a young man
Broadcasted live, so I could be just watching Formula One with my kid, right? And like some guy just crashes and dies from like burning alive. Oh my god, that is that's horrific right
die
there.
not instantly,
My
but
god.
slowly and painfully, trapped while help stood only meters away. Roger Williamson's death shocked the racing world. It led to major criticism of Formula One safety standards and the lack of proper response at the circuit. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for similar ones and feel free to drop suggestions for the
Yo,
next video in
W
the
Vid guys.
comments.
This guy makes such good videos, I can't lie. Such good videos by Simple Paint. Love them. Love them. Love them. Gonna like this one. W vid simple man.